Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I am Username, and today we are doing What If Deku Was Mob. Let's get right into it. So basically, as Mob, Deku will start off with no parents actually. His parents submitted him to the orphanage before he even knew it, and was raised up in the orphanage. As in the orphanage, he's known for night terrors and becoming really agile and spiking at night. His mind would go wild and everything in the room would start floating. Most likely, people inside the room would start floating too. So nobody could actually be in the same room as him while he slept, which caused social distancing and made everybody sort of, hostile towards him when it came to the morning or the sheer night, because they didn't want to be floated. And so Deku became much more distant from the other kids and sort of stuck to himself, trying to contain his power. He spends most of his time trying to train his power, trying to control it. However, he starts to figure out that it's actually limitless. Once he actually taps into it, finally, once he gets emotional enough, he sort of destroys half the orphanage. And then he's given up to another orphanage. So basically, hopping between orphanages, nobody really wants to take care of the kid. And not even when they do get him into families, the families feel so endangered by their lives that they give him back to the orphanage. Orphanages, I should say. And even heroes like Endeavor, who was searching for the prophecy, searching for a child like this, didn't even want to take care of him because he realized that truly how powerful he was. He noticed that. He understood that after one night when he came back to check on Deku and he was completely gone and half the moon was gone too, because Deku hated his Endeavor because of his sort of abusive nature, and hated the family that he was in because they're also full of hate, and this truly took a toll on Endeavor when Deku came back, which then ended up in Endeavor almost losing his life. Once Endeavor calmed down Deku, he learned that sort of lesson about himself, that all of this was kind of his fault, and then gives him back up to the orphanage because, well, he's got to work on himself now, as many relationships have ended on. Basically, Deku continues to go throughout the system, and then until one hero comes to him, a lower ranked hero, but top part of the top 50. He boasts a little bit with it. Known as the Talker. He's a hero that's known for talking down his enemies, using psychological warfare to talk them down. And the truth actually is that he has no quirk. He's just a professor in psychology and is very, very good at, using that to his advantage against criminal psychology, and talks down almost every single villain that he's come up against. And so he actually adopts Deku. And why is because after years and years of him doing this job and talking down every single villain, there starts to be people that discredit his name, saying that he has no quirk, he has no power, he's only talked down villains, and that even if he had that quirk that allows him to be more talking down of people, then that's not really a hero's quirk. So, he starts to get that to his name, and he starts to be discredited, and he feels that he needs power, He needs something to call to his own. He needs family. He needs something that will, keep him on going, even though, he's being challenged by all these things. So he adopts Deku. Every single night when Deku started to have the night terrors, which would end up in blowing most likely whatever building they were in, he has talked his way out of many situations to get the type of money that he has now. And he doesn't care if he blows up the mansion, he just cares if his life is in danger. And most of the time he's able to get to Deku and calm him down. over the years, he starts to unlock a lot more of this power, making sure that his, true powers stay locked, and that he, stops himself from becoming way too, vocal or being way too emotional, which causes him to lock away his emotions, which he did not mean for that to happen, but, it sort of happened on its own. As Deku constantly started going to this school because, he started paying for school and all that, and he started feeding him. He gave him a job, since he's able to see ghosts, he might as well do something like that. But, Deku looked up to him. Yeah, definitely. Deku looked up to him 100%. He saw him as this sort of role figure that, he was the true hero. Nobody else could compare. And he couldn't get that out of his head, So, when this hero gets discredited, his whole entire name disblocked, as they figure they take a blood test from the blood that they found on the street from one of his fights, and find out that his, he doesn't have a quirk. He's discredited and thrown out of the, Hero Association. He's discredited as a hero and now has to find a job himself. And, this destroys him and leaves Deku, sort of reeling from this, as, he always knew that he didn't have a quirk. Yeah, he could sense it. But it was like, he didn't care. Why do people care so much about that? And, yeah, he was really confused all and around. So, but he still wanted to be him, right? What was he now? Just a paranormal investigator using all of Deku's powers to do all of this shit? No, he was still the hero in Deku's mind. He still wanted to be that. And all that, when he told, the hero, all the hero said was, just never use your power on people, Don't, just do it, use it as the only last resort. If you are in danger, if anybody that is in physical danger or is about to, die, that is the only reason to use it. That is the only reason. There is always a way to talk your way out of it. Keep control and keep it in mind. So basically, and he's like, yeah, no, just be a hero then, if you want to be. He was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do then. I'm going to be just like you. However, in his sort of dead, zombie-like way, which, the hero is still quite sad about. And the hero starts up a business, of course, doing into, sort of paranormal activity stuff. He wasn't fully a father figure by this point. Sure, he was part of it. But, the one villain that he can never talk down was All for One, which was a bloody battle, how they got the blood, which angered Deku. But, of course, that only went to his meter. So basically, Deku started going to school more vigorously, taking it more seriously. And since his power, since he knew that his power was basically unlimited, his Esperate power at least, he didn't care much about training. All he was focusing on was how to control it. And he was able to, lift stuff, like throw things at Mach 2 by this point, and, just general Esper stuff. And then he started to go into, hero business stuff. He didn't start it until, he got into the exam, the huge hero exam. This time, instead of, before he falls down, he lifts himself back up, as he is pretty nervous about this point where he wants to, recredit his name, his adoptive father's name, and, take back all this stuff. So yeah, I would say he's sufficiently nervous. He's been trying to control his power, and, he's nervous that he'll kill somebody if he uses it here. So, he can't talk down robots. So he's quite nervous, and he falls still, and Uraraka does pick him up, but he has zero clue how to talk to girls. So he immediately is like, yeah, I gotta go, and then bumps into Ida, who he feels much more comfortable talking to, because Ida's kind of like him. They're both very logical thinkers, and just generally don't show their emotions at all. So he gets along with Ida. Like, he explains to Ida his whole predicament. Like, Ida's like, you talk a lot. And he's like, not usually. No, never, actually. Just, you seem like a good listener. And then Uraraka finally catches up to him, saying that she's sorry, and then saying that, why did you run off so fast? And then Ida realizes, oh, I see why you... Okay. And Deku's like, no, it's not like that. Please, don't ruin this for me. I just want to talk to a girl. Please help me. And Ida's like, okay, I'll help you talk to a girl then. All right. I'll start you off. I'll be your wingman. And then they all get flooded into the freaking auditorium, and Ida's not able to make a move on Uraraka. Not like that, but make a move on behalf of Deku, if that makes any sense. And this distracts him from getting an argument with Bakugo, which is good, because that would make Deku more mad. So basically, Deku's unable to talk to Uraraka, and then they start the whole thing. He starts running out, and he's like, well, since these aren't humans per se, I can... Yeah, no, he just starts lifting them up, destroying everything in his way, but doing it secretively. After all, he doesn't want to show his power fully right now. He wants to keep it secret, you know? So he starts destroying stuff that other people are fighting, so that, you know, he can cloak his power, making it look like he's doing nothing, but, you know, the points still count towards him. Just enough to look like he's actually killing them to, you know, do really good. And then Zero Pointer comes along, and he recognizes Uraraka's voice, and now he starts to feel a lot of regret, remembering back to how he was just about to talk to her, just about to get the, you know, sort of the confidence to do it. He immediately just shattered and then just stopped talking, you know. So, trying to boost up that confidence, he takes a little while, like, pumping himself up, and then instantly teleports himself in, which then the foot is about to crush him and Uraraka under the thing, which then he just lifts up the foot, ripping it off of the thing, and then picks up Uraraka, lands her on her feet, and sort of just says, I'm sorry for using my Esper power on you. And she's like, it's fine, quirks are allowed in this test. He's like, oh, what are quirks? He like completely forgot. But it's like he has zero sort of social skills, so he has never had a discussion about sort of quirks and stuff. So, you know, she's like, you're kidding, right? He's like, wait, what? I don't understand. And then he's about to get crushed by the freaking foot. She's like, oh my god, you're an idiot. And then she holds up her arms trying to and right as the foot touches her, it immediately zero gravities the rest of the robot, making it float up into the air, which then Deku, you know, sort of picks it up and then smashes it straight to the ground, picks it up and smashes it to the ground, ripping its limbs apart and then beating it up with its own limbs. All that sort of stuff in front of Uraraka, because he's like, I gotta show her something impressive, right? You know, that's what a man does, right? She's like, that's disgusting. He's like, oh god damn it. And she's like, yeah, you're kind of creepy, dude. And then like walks away. He's like, ah. And then Ida comes up. He's like, Recipro bursts over just to be like, yeah, you goofed it. And he's like, oh god damn it. How would you have done it then? You know, getting kind of mad at Ida, but you know, Ida being like, I would have not ripped its limbs apart. That's probably pretty brutal, kid. He's like, I have no idea what you mean. Social skills 101. What the fuck is that? So yeah, no, Ida's like shocked by this. He's like, have you talked to a human before? Do you know how to talk to humans? So basically while this all happens, the freaking announcer dude, what's his name again? President Mike. That's right. President Mike announces that the game is over. Mob comes back, and then they're assigned all their stuff. Of course, Deku gets, you know, in 1A. Of course he does. I mean, he did insanely good, saving Uraraka, doing all that stuff. Really good, really good. But the next part will be too hard to do right. Okay, I think I'll leave it off there then, because the next part's actually really exciting for me. I need to plot this one out. write it out because I've been freestyling now. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to watch the next part, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit up, I feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,